Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to the stage Rabbi Ammiel Hirsch, Senior Rabbi of Stephen Wise Free Synagogue.
We have a long program. I've been given 9 minutes and 37 seconds, or the music starts playing. And what music, right? Amazing. What immense talent our synagogue attracts. Collection of astonishing people who've led and supported our community and raised it to among the most admired and respected religious institutions in the country. I'll stick to the time granted to me, 9 minutes and 37 seconds. In deference to the 370 congregants and friends assembled here, but you know, I could speak for hours about our honorees. And the clock only begins now. Synagogues stand on 3 pillars: the professional staff, the volunteer leadership, and the community at large. If any one of these pillars is unsturdy, the entire edifice is compromised. We are only as strong as our weakest foundation. It was an inspired choice to honor such essential pillars of the Stephen Wise Free Synagogue, Jen and Mark, glowing exemplars of a spectacular lay leadership team, and Cantor Dan Singer, shining star of our professional staff. Jen and Mark, you represent the best of us. You willingly and joyously step forward to volunteer for whatever we ask, and because you always say yes, and because you always fully honor your commitments, we always ask you again, and you always say yes again. Jewish professionals dream to meet and work with people like you. We do not normally encounter this unique combination of professional and intellectual brilliance and excellence, along with moral standing. And in Jewish life and in the not-for-profit world in general, we do not commonly receive the kind of encouragement you offer. Unconditional personal support wrapped around uncompromising professional expertise that assesses every decision on its merits. And I can't tell you how appreciative I am of this type of leadership and friendship, a trait shared by so many of your peers in synagogue leadership. The highest compliment that Jewish professionals can receive is the kind of honest feedback that you provide. We can never have enough of it. This is one of the secrets of our synagogue's rehabilitation and transformation, a true, productive, honest, supportive partnership of the lay and professional pillars for the benefit of the community at large. Your love for the Jewish people is deep and authentic. Your respect for rabbis is palpable and sincere and deeply moving to me. Just one word of caution. The sages of the Talmud proclaimed, "They who love rabbis will have children who are rabbis." They meant it as a compliment. Mark is a brilliant Harvard-trained attorney. We know these qualities so well on the board and executive committee on which he serves, but it is his singing voice most congregants know best. Often families request that he represent the Board of Trustees at their B'nai Mitzvah ceremonies, as yesterday. They love his duet with Cantor Singer and those Purim spiels. My only regret is that he doesn't seem to take off his shirt anymore. Before the bar mitzvah began yesterday, I whispered to Mark how moved and grateful I am for his and Jen's friendship. I grabbed him by the shoulder in that native Israeli way. It's one of my lasting Middle Eastern traits that I haven't been able to shed. I grabbed Mark by the shoulder and I told him how deserving that he and Jen will receive the Shem Tov Award. What an honor to know such people. Mark didn't miss a beat. He immediately responded, "Say that tomorrow, Ami." With pleasure, Mark. Mark is pitch perfect. Always. I have never heard a false note in him. Never. It is the result of meticulous preparation and innate capabilities. Jen is not only a dazzlingly brilliant Penn and NYU business graduate with immense professional responsibilities. She is as good as she is accomplished. Talking to Jen, just being in her company, makes you feel honored, cherished, and respected. Her attention to detail is ferocious. Her attention to human dignity is phenomenal. Her humanity is fabulous. And with all this, their highest achievement is those 3 children that they're raising, all of whom grew up in our community. Jen and Mark, with all of your accomplishments, the best that you've ever done is what you've produced in Adam and Brett and Haley. Most members of our congregation know Adam and Brett through their glorious singing with Mark on the High Holy Days. I've been told by congregants that this is their favorite part of the High Holy Day service. I work all summer on those sermons. Mark and Jen, on behalf of a grateful congregation, know that this, the synagogue's highest honor, is richly deserved. Your Shem Tov, your good name, is a source of pride for our community that so admires and cherishes you. Chazak ve'ematz, may you go from strength to strength, and may God be with you. Cantor Singer has been my partner and friend for 10 years. What an amazing talent. He's a musical genius. One of the most vital decisions that we made a decade ago was to engage him as our Chazan. He is the critical element that has transformed worship at Stephen Wise, and through it, fundamentally redirected the synagogue. He is the public face of our congregational worship. People from all over the world, Jews and Gentiles alike, visit us on Shabbat to marvel at and learn from the revolution that Dan inspired. Many hundreds more tune in regularly online. Every week, guests of Bnei Mitzvah families swoon over him after the services and tell him that were they to live in New York City, they would join Stephen Wise because of him. Even Orthodox Jews say to Dan that they wish their own synagogue and their own worship were like ours. When encountering such talent, it is important for rabbis to do something that we are not taught in rabbinical school. Just get out of the way. Step aside and let the genius lead. It is the Chazan in Judaism who unlocks the gates of prayer. I've mentioned to Dan many times, and I mean it sincerely, were our seminary, the Hebrew Union College Jewish Institute of Religion, to ask me to teach the incoming classes about clergy teamwork, I would start with a passage from the Shulchan Aruch, the definitive late medieval code of Jewish law. The Shulchan Aruch asks, if a community is in difficult economic straits and it can afford to engage only a rabbi or a cantor, who should be hired? It was determined that if there is only enough money for one of them, in almost every case, the community should hire the cantor. And remember, it was the rabbis who wrote the codes of Jewish law. In a spasm of rare rabbinic self-confidence, they reasoned that the chazan does something fundamental that rabbis can't do. It is the chazan who raises people above the routine mundaneness of daily life to offer a glimpse of the transcendent. More than anything else, Cantor Singer has the soul of a chazan. It starts there. He unlocks the gates of prayer, inspiring us to catch the sight of heaven. Lauren, my initial advice to Dan when he first joined the synagogues was not to date congregants. I'm so pleased that both you and he ignored my advice, my sage advice, although technically you weren't a congregant. Dan and I have come to love each other. We spend so much time together in sacred work that we have even come to treasure each other's peculiarities, idiosyncrasies, and eccentricities. Dan is an exceptional human being. He is brilliant in a uniquely creative way. He is a passionate soul. He is emotional and expressive. He is serious and principled. We read in the biblical book of Daniel, V'Daniel hevin b'chol chazon v'chalamot. And God blessed Daniel with special vision. None in all the kingdom was equal to Daniel. This man, Daniel, surpassed everyone else by virtue of his extraordinary spirit. This is how we feel about our Daniel. He has a unique and compelling spirit. None in the kingdom is equal to Daniel Singer. It is a high privilege and a distinct honor to call him my partner and my friend. What extraordinary people we are honoring tonight. What an amazing synagogue community. Let us together offer the prayer of Jewish life and thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu, v'kiyamanu, v'higianu, lazman hazeh. Amen.